There comes a moment when life seems to dissolve into a grey fog. Everything appears to be in its place: a home, a job, people nearby, even health, yet inside, there's emptiness. No fire, no direction, no sense of why you should get out of bed in the morning. And the scariest part isn't the emptiness itself, but that you don't know how to get out of it. How do you look for a path when you don't even know where you're going? In those moments, we panic. We think that losing our sense of direction means something's broken and must be fixed right now. But losing direction isn't a mistake. It's a sign. It means that your old motives have run out of fuel, and the new ones haven't yet been born. And right there, in that quiet in-between, you have a chance to truly meet yourself for the first time. When you don't know what you want, the first thing you must do is stop demanding answers from yourself. We've been taught to live in the mode of you must know. But knowing is not the same as feeling. Real desires aren't born out of logic. They rise out of silence. The first step is to allow yourself not to know, to stop forcing meaning, to stop inventing goals, to simply sit in that space and let the stillness do its quiet work. Gradually, you'll begin to notice small things. What feels good, what drains you, who makes you calm, who exhausts you. These little observations are the beginnings of your inner compass. To hear where you're being called, you need to stop rushing and start listening. Each day, ask yourself just one question. What feels alive right now? Not what should I be doing or what's right, but simply what feels real. Maybe it's a walk, a book, a quiet coffee alone. Don't dismiss it. Follow those tiny sparks. They'll lead you toward what's yours. The next step is to reconnect with your body. It sounds simple, but your body always knows what your mind refuses to admit. It tightens when something isn't right, relaxes when you're aligned, tires when you're pushing in the wrong direction. Pause more often. Notice your breath. Feel where tension lives. Sometimes clarity comes not as a thought, but as a bodily knowing, a subtle sense of peace that whispers, yes, this way. Then, stop comparing your path to anyone else's. Often, we think we don't know what we want, but in truth, we just don't want what we're told to want. From childhood, we're taught to desire success, results, achievement. And when those words stop inspiring us, we panic. But maybe what you want is something different, something quieter, smaller, truer. Give yourself permission not to perform. Live for a while without goals or labels. In that empty space, something real begins to grow. Next, allow yourself to make mistakes. Sometimes we can't figure out what we want because we're terrified of choosing wrong. We wait for a perfect option, a perfect plan. But desire isn't a blueprint. It's a direction that reveals itself only as you move. Try things. Take small steps toward warmth. If it's not yours, you'll feel it. Every so-called mistake isn't failure, it's feedback. You can't find clarity without a little wandering. Then, return to simple pleasures. When you don't know what you want in a grand sense, start small. Tiny joys are like threads that pull you back toward life. A smell you love, a walk in the rain, a message to a friend, a slow morning without an alarm. None of these solve everything, but they wake up your ability to feel. And once you start feeling again, desire quietly reappears. After that, reduce the noise. While you're surrounded by other people's opinions, advice, and expectations, your own voice can't be heard. You may need literal silence. A day without your phone, no scrolling, no advice. Number 10 rules for happiness. Not because those things are bad, but because they're too loud. When you remove the noise, your own yes begins to echo. At some point, ask a softer question. Not what do I want to achieve, but how do I want to live? That question is gentler, truer. It doesn't demand an outcome, it seeks a state of being. The answers don't appear all at once, but they slowly shape a direction, not a destination. You may discover that what you want isn't a job or a title, but a feeling, peace, warmth, freedom. Then your task becomes not to chase something external, but to build an inner life where that feeling can exist. Finally, learn to trust the process. Life rarely speaks in words, it moves through signs, coincidences, and quiet impulses. You can't figure out the whole path before you take a step. You only see it as you walk. So just move. Even if you're unsure, even if the step is small. Walk where it feels even a little alive. And one day, quietly, without a grand revelation, you'll realize something inside has shifted. There's direction again. Maybe it's faint, maybe it's still fragile, but it's yours. Not borrowed, not copied, not approved by anyone else. From that moment, life starts breathing again. Understanding what you want doesn't happen overnight. It's not a lightning strike. It's a slow return to yourself. It takes patience, honesty, and silence. Sometimes loneliness. But it's worth every moment, because once you begin to hear yourself, even an ordinary life starts to shine from within. Not with fireworks, but with meaning, not external, but deeply personal. And then, the question, what do I want, stops being a burden. It becomes a quiet pulse, a rhythm of being alive. You don't force it anymore, you live it. Because knowing what you want isn't about defining your life. It's about feeling it. And when you finally feel it, you'll understand, you've known it all along.